Suicide is definitely difficult for any of us to comprehend, and the National Suicide Prevention Week is an opportunity to bring together healthcare professionals and individuals with the goal of educating and informing everyone about suicide prevention.
And as our medical reporter Rosemarie Beltz explains, the reality is oftentimes, just like the family said, there simply are no warning signs for suicide. Rose.
Thank you, Andrea. Well, we've likely all heard about the suicide of Hollywood stars Robin Williams and Anthony Bourdain. And just this week, two more high-profile deaths, both actually mental health advocates. One was a mega-church pastor. The other was the chief of mental health services at the University of Pennsylvania. It's also even more likely each of us personally has a story to share about suicide. The CDC calls suicide a public health concern. In 2017, suicide was the cause of 47,000 deaths. That's about one death every 11 minutes. In fact, there were twice as many suicides as homicides in the U.S., and a recent nationwide survey found suicide was the second leading cause of death among young people ages 10 to 34. Experts say each year more people actually think about or attempt suicide. In 2017, 10.6 million American adults seriously thought about suicide, 3.2 million people made a plan, and 1.4 million actually attempted suicide. Mental health specialists say there's not just one reason for suicide, and it can affect anyone at any time in their life, regardless of age, gender, or background. Most often, it is the result of depression, anxiety, or even substance abuse problems. Pain can also be a concern. And to illustrate how gradual suicide can be, about 45% of people who actually took their own life had contact with a doctor within a month of the suicide. These are warning signs to keep in mind. If a person talks about being a burden, having no reason to live, or killing themselves, or behavior changes such as increased alcohol or drug use, searching online for a way to end life, withdrawing from activities, isolating from family or friends, and sleeping too much or not enough. Even though suicidal thoughts can be common, these thoughts should not be considered normal and often indicate more serious issues. For family and friends left behind, there's guilt called suicide loss survivors. Many people feel shame, and there's a stigma associated with suicide, often preventing people from talking about it. Yes, these numbers are alarming, but here's the most important number to remember: 800-273-TALK. That's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It provides free, confidential support to people experiencing a suicide crisis or emotional distress. In the studio, I'm Rosemarie Beltz. Ladies, back to you.
Just absolutely shocking number. And here's the prevention hotline again one more time. And if you are at the game this weekend, don't forget, be ready at the beginning of the third quarter to hold up the number 3 in a show of solidarity and to get the conversation started about mental health. If you need help, again, that number is 1-800-273-TALK. It is a confidential, anonymous, secure, free line. Don't suffer in silence. There is help.